It is the semifinals of the Oklahoma Four Dealers Sooner Athletic Conference Championships, and it starts with the men's number 1 seed against number 4. Welcome to the Sid Richardson Center of the campus of Texas Wesleyan University in Fort Worth for the Simple Simons pregame show on the Atlas Sports Network, and the St. Jimmy Christopher next to the booth, Jared Jones. Star-studded Langston Lions are the top seed after winning the SAC for the second straight year as they face the 4th-seeded Wayland Baptist Pioneers. Jared, you and I saw Langston right before Christmas. It was like December 19th against LSUS. And then I saw the Langston Lions again just 11 days ago in the second last regular season game here at the SID against the Rams. What more can you say about the number 2 team in the NAIA?
Well, Jimmy, what is there left to say? Coach Wright and his Lions have pretty much been dominant from top to bottom all season long. As we see on the Jumbotron to our left and our right here, we see the conference awards. We have a list right in front of us here. It's fair to say the only award that they're missing from the conference is probably the Nobel Peace Prize. It's a reason why they've swept the conference in terms of accolades. They're a well-rounded team. They pretty much beat everyone that they faced off against. They've jumped every hurdle that they put in front of them. And something tells me that there's only one opportunity to try to take these Lions down while the momentum is still running, and that opportunity is in the hands of their opponents, the 4th-seed Wayland Baptist Pioneers.
I have about 3/4 of a page of all the honors that their head coach and half a dozen players have won as well, so we don't have enough time in our pregame show. Otherwise, I'd get into those. We'll try to sprinkle those in during the course of the broadcast. And Langston has beaten Wayland Baptist twice this season. How hard is it to defeat a team 3 times in a season?
Well, Jimmy, as I always say every time we're together on these broadcasts, one of the hardest things to do in basketball is to beat a team twice. There's maybe one thing harder than that, and that's to beat a team 3 times, especially when you're going into an environment like this. Not only is a conference pride on the line, it's a chance at a championship on the line. Both of these teams pretty familiar with each other. Wayland, however, does lead the all-time series with 7 wins over the Lions. Jimmy, as you alluded to earlier, Langston did win their last matchup back on the 15th of February, 70-65. The scoreboard really doesn't tell the tale. If you watch the clip from that game, it was a tight-knit ball game from start to finish. And I even had an opportunity to speak with Texas Wesleyan coach Brendan Chingleton. He said only one word was going to describe this game: war. 2 very strong teams on the defensive side of the ball, as we've seen from the Lions against LSUS. When you have strong guard play, Langston has a way to stop it. And that's probably led by, I don't know, he's a pretty good ball player. That Anthony Roy for these first-seeded Langston Lions, he's pretty good at this whole basketball thing. And that's just one of the fantastic cogs in the wheel of this Langston guard ship.
And the winner today of this first game, Langston and Wayland Baptist, will face the winner of the second game today, John Brown and Mac U.
Now, both of those games are definitely going to be interesting. 2 very strong defensive teams looking to play against 2 very strong offensive teams. So it's fair to say, they say defense wins championships. Well, I don't know. If anything's going to be a testament to it, this next 2 days of basketball will be.
Absolutely. I'm excited for number 1 Langston in the SAC against number 4 Wayland Baptist. That's coming up here in the Shake. We'll have more pregame. We'll have the starting lineups. All of that on the way. College basketball on ASN2 and ASN Radio.
Everything. At Pelche Kia and Tyler, we're tough, never quit.
Find your support system. At Texas Wesleyan, you'll get the one-on-one attention you need to succeed. Texas Wesleyan, small classes, big scholarships. Now that's smaller, smarter.
Welcome back to the SID. Jimmy the St. Christopher, Jared the Moose Jones on the Antler Sports Network, and we're doing the Sooner Athletic Conference Championships, beginning with the semifinal game between the top-seeded Langston Lions and number 4 Wayland Baptist University Pioneers. Let's do their starting 5 for Coach Clint Gallion. Pioneers will run out Tajay Hill, 6'3" guard, a junior from Rochester to New York. He's one of the 3 All-SAC teamers. He's a third-team All-SAC. Also, Mikhail Murray, an All-SAC honorable mention, 6'6" combo position player out of Bronx, New York. Then comes Quentin Coleman, 5'11" guard from San Antonio. He's All-SAC honorable mention. He played in just 18 games this season. Brett Leach, 6'4" guard from Andrews, Texas. And finally, DeMichael Belfield, All-SAC second team. He's a returner for Coach Gallion. 27 points, 10 boards versus OPSU, one of his high points. He's also the leading field goal shooter in the SAC. DeMichael is a 6'10" forward from Palestine, Texas. For the top-seeded Langston Lions, under the guidance of Coach Chris Wright, they trot out Ronald Mitchell, 6'3" guard from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Anthony Roy, the SAC Player of the Year for 2024. 6'5" guard out of Oakland, California, an East Bay guy. Toro Dean, 6-foot guard from Miami, Florida. J. Allen Tovar, 6'10" forward from San Jose. And Cortez Mosley, a combo player, 6'5", senior from Peoria, Illinois. He was Defensive Player of the Year. And as we said at the outset, Jared, they just have a whole list of guys winning all kinds of awards.
I feel sorry for whoever had to make the trophies for the Sooner Athletic Conference, because they had a whole lot of Langston to put on those respective plaques. But really, what do you expect? But one aspect of this game that I definitely want to point out, Jimmy, especially in the pregame, although Langston does have the accolades on their side, if you look at the numbers, and as they say, the numbers don't lie, both of these teams are relatively even, just going by the major stats, at least in their entirety of regular season play. In points per game, Langston averaging 83 points per game, Wayland averaging 86. And rebounds per game, both teams averaging 38. The turnover game, another thing that Brennan Shingleton, head coach for the Texas Wesleyan Rams, said was going to be a determining factor. They're relatively even on that front as well. Langston averaging 10 turnovers a game, Wayland averaging 11. Field goal percentage, 47-48 respectively. Three-point percentage, 37-35. And free throws, Langston with the advantage, 76-70 against Wayland. So it's fair to say, even though that Wayland is the number 2 team in the country, in most parts of their season, they've definitely played like so.
And Langston, the top seed in this SAC tournament. Wayland, number 4. And Langston is number 1 in the preseason poll, and Wayland was number 2. Wayland was number 2. Yeah, we don't have any distractions here. What do you mean? We don't need any stinking distractions. Anyway, in the preseason poll, Langston was number 1 and Wayland was number 2. Langston number 1 seeded in this tournament, and Wayland number 4. And you just gave those numbers, which are almost like a Xerox copy of each other.
Pretty much might as well be, and this is why I like the way this tournament is set up. You have the top 8 teams. Looking at the bracket here, you never know what you're going to get. Even though Langston defeated Central Christian handily in the first round, 93-74, Wayland needed overtime to take down USAO, U.S. University of Science and Arts out of Oklahoma. I watched that game, Jimmy, and I don't know about you. That game went right down to the wire. Langston is definitely in for a tough matchup against these Pioneers. They are battle-tested. They're battle-ready. They're ready for the speed of this Langston guardship, but the question is going to be, at least for me, the major key in this game is going to be the battle of the forwards in the front court. J. Allen Tovar of San Jose, California. We've seen him against LSUS in the early parts of that game. If you let him take over, he'll take over quickly. Had a double-double with about 7 minutes left to go in the second half. But the main question for Tovar, how he's going to handle DeMichael Belfield. Shout out to Mr. Belfield, another East Texas product, former Wildcat out of Palestine Westwood High School, former home of the Black and Orange Attack, a very athletic program, and it shows with him here. He's averaging 13, 6, and 2 a game, shooting 62% from the field. Very solid from him. Weatherford College transfer, so kind of a homecoming for him as well. I expect both Tovar and Belfield to put on a show between the lanes, Jimmy.
And J. Allen Tovar on the All-SAC D team. Camonte Brown, who doesn't even start, he was in the All-SAC third team. And don't even get me started on Anthony Roy, All-SAC first team and the SAC Player of the Year for 2024. And boy, they just have a magnificent depth on this club.
And you can't really say enough. The only thing they're missing is the kitchen sink. They're a team from top to bottom, from guard to forward, underclassmen to upperclassmen. They have talent, they have experience, they have speed, they have athleticism, they have shooting. Wayland, on the other hand, pretty much the exact same way. They have plenty of size to match up. They have the fast guards to match up with Langston's fast-paced offensive attack. Another thing to bring up for Wayland, if you want to take down these Lions, the transition game is definitely going to be important. Langston, in their game against LSUS that was here on ASN2 to start off the season, their first 15 points were all in transition against the Pilots. Almost 20 points, almost 20 of your first points were all in transition. How many teams can you say can score the ball that quickly and that efficiently? So if Wayland can slow them down, make them play in the half-court game early, which isn't really going to help you out on offense because they're fantastic in the half-court as well. But you have a much better chance of slowing them down to the half-court than you do running all 94 feet.
And you have some highlights for us, I understand.
Indeed, I do. We have the top 10 plays of the month from the Antler Sports Network, which you can find on our Antler Sports Network Facebook page at any time whenever they happen. Wildcat team. Here's Tejada. Steps back right along the Texas-Mexico border to the Ferris logo at center court. He drives it, swatted away by Biles. Not to Mogul, over to Connor. 3 minutes left to go. Connor crossing the timeline, gets blitzed, tipped it is Johnson. Johnson rises up and throws it down. Tie game, 42-40. Knocking on the door, 3.5 left to go in the third. They kick to Amon, who's guarded again by Tomlin. Hesitation, step crosses, and to Olivier. Ferris working the double team. Harris under the basket, throws it down, count it and one.
Under 9 to play. Nice moves on Terry. Goes Lafayette. This one is left-handed shot off the backboard. Rolls off the front of the rim. Rebounded by Perry, Shelby, and a slam.
Flanagan, he'll let go over 3 of his own. Short front iron it off. Chris Wiseman with a defensive board. Layup, and swatted again! They hand it to Carpenter, who gets a screen. Almost double team, but it gets blitzed immediately. Follow away 3 for Carpenter, count it and the foul! Set, no, not if anyone has anything to say or do about it, is Eli Smith. Layup's no good, 15 seconds left. Francis on the drive. Smith and a putback dunk! What a slam from Cole! And a bucket again for the Pilots. Paul King gets his 5th point. Lob pass, it is thrown down! Look out below! The Mustangs slowly but surely getting things going on the offensive end. Bounce pass, under the basket, and the dunk! Right on Ferris Hill's head! How about that?
Everything. At Pelche Key and Tyler, we're tough, never quits.
Find your support system. At Texas Wesleyan, you'll get the one-on-one attention you need to succeed. Texas Wesleyan, small classes, big scholarships. Now that's smaller, smarter.
Welcome back to the Oklahoma Ford Dealers Sooner Athletic Conference Championship semifinals. Game number 1 of our 4 games today. We'll pit the top-seeded Langston Lions against number 4 Wayland Baptist Pioneers here at the Sid Richardson Center in Texas Wesleyan campus in Fort Worth. And the second game will be number 6 John Brown Golden Eagles against number 2 Mid-American University Evangels. And you got a breakdown for us of that bracket, Mr. Jared Moose Jones.
Well, Jimmy, as we talked about earlier in the pregame, it's been a game that most people didn't think would happen. Specifically in the Wayland Baptist Science and Arts Contest down on the campus of Wayland in the opening round. Jimmy, as we said, they needed an extra period. Just 2 halves apparently just wasn't enough for them. The Wayland Baptist Pioneers needing overtime to get out. Langston handily defeated Central Christian back on the 29th and the home of the Lions, beating the Tigers of Central Christian out of Kansas 93-74 to go into this game in a contest between 2 equal schools. That's just the best way to put it. We've seen both teams score the ball extremely well. We've seen both teams take on teams and pretty much punch high. Langston specifically taking down LSUS in the early going, and expect a lot more between these 2 teams here.
Let's grab a break. We'll be back for tip-off of today's game after this on ASN2 and ASN Radio.
Everything. At Pelche Key and Tyler, we're tough, never quits.
Find your support system. At Texas Wesleyan, you'll get the one-on-one attention you need to succeed. Texas Wesleyan, small classes, big scholarships. Now that's smaller, smarter.
Starters being introduced just ahead of tip-off from the number 1 seeded Langston Lions and number 4 Wayland Baptist University Pioneers with Jimmy the St. Christopher and Jared the Moose Jones on the Antler Sports Network. We're excited. We're real excited. You've been working your behind off all week, and I've been excited all week. So,
I mean, even though this has been a labor of love for the Antler Sports Network, this is going to be 2 days of fantastic basketball. Not only the best teams in the Sooner, but in this case, some of the best teams in the country ready to duke it out in the first round. Some predicted this would be a championship game, let alone a chance to get into the championship. So I guess, Jimmy, we're a bit spoiled to have this matchup this early on.
Wayland starters again: Tajay Hill, Cale Murray, Quentin Coleman, Brett Leach, and Michael Belfield. For Langston, who's the home team today, Ronald Mitchell, Anthony Roy, Toru Dean, Jay Allen Tover, Cortez Mosley. Officials are Major Phillips, Josh Howell, and Moses Owens. Now ready to jump in the center circle, which is the Rams logo here at the Sid Richardson Center, the campus of Texas Wesleyan University in Fort Worth. Major Phillips ready to throw it in the air. We have jumping Murray and Jay Allen Tovar, controlled by the Langston Lions in their orange, white, and dark blue uniforms. They go around the top. Out high with it is Roy. Roy pitches to Mosley. They work that perimeter a lot, driving down the right side of the paint, missing the first shot of the game and taking a dive right underneath the basket was Roy on the miss. Rebounded by the visiting team listed as the Wayland Baptist University Pioneers, and the 3-ball stuck in from the right side by Brett Leach. Gets the scoring started here early.
Wayland Baptist already knocking down the 3-ball, shooting at a 35% clip from the year. 1 for 1 from downtown.
Toru Dean with the right hand goes right to Roy. Roy will whip it to his left, goes back around to Roy. They again working that perimeter this time down. Toru Dean to Anthony Roy. He pitches to Mosley. Mosley drove inside the top of the key with 5 to shoot. He goes left corner, 3-ball on the way, and it's stuck in by Toru Dean. Dean, one of the Bevo top 100 watch list guys out of his many honors.
Langston pretty much using all that shot clock, but at the end of the day, Jimmy, all that matters, you put some points on the board.
Quentin Coleman passes to his left to Hill. They go far left corner. Leach goes down, no underneath to the big guy, to Michael Belfield. He gets the visiting crowd in from Plainview from Wayland Baptist University. First bucket by Belfield. They're up 5-3 are the Pioneers.
He was a Sooner Athletic Conference Player of the Week, and showing you why, Jimmy. That's a big human being to try to get out of that lane.
Roy goes to the baseline. Good defense there by Leach. Passes through the paint and out off the left side. Missing. The 3-ball is Ron Mitchell. Rebounded by the Wayland Baptist University Pioneers. Charging into the paint and then losing the handle on it was Murray. Belfield got it as his shot rejected down low. It goes out high, head and shoulder fake by Hill. Hill then launches the 3-ball off the front lip into the arms of a waiting Ronald Mitchell. Walking now across the half-court line comes Toru Dean. 5-3 Pioneers over the Lions, who have the ball. With 17:43 to play here in the opening stanza. Hill passes center circle, top of the key to Dean. Rifling a pass is Mosley to the left corner. It goes to Mitchell. Back out high. A 3-ball on the way. Fails. Bounced just near the top of the rim into the hands of Murray. Murray crosses the half-court line. Pioneers up 5-3, trying to crease that early lead. Good defense by Langston, which they play miraculously. And out high is Coleman. Coleman drives in the paint. A shovel off to Belfield. Nice move by the big fella, but he missed and follows up and gets a slow roll. Missed it as he went across the bottom with the right hand, but followed up his own shot to give Pioneers a 7-3 lead.
Well, that's how Belfield has pretty much gotten most of his money in this season. Second chance points, staying with the offensive glass and converting on second chance buckets.
Dean has it now between the center circle and top of the key. The big fella Belfield out to get him. Passes to Mosley. Here's a right corner 3, an air ball missed by Mitchell. Rebounded by Murray. Goes coast to coast and misses everything but the backboard. Rebound grabbed by Jay Allen Tovar of the Lions, who trail by 4. 16:25 to play here, opening stanza. Low block driving into the paint. A spin. Nice defense down low. The shot missed by Mosley. Belfield picks up the garbage. Gives it to Coleman, who taps his chest, looking at his coach Gallion, and dribbling around the top on the big fella Alan Tovar. Pass is picked off. Oh, a nice save by Ronald Mitchell. Miraculous. Roy in the attacking zone. Far left corner. He drives toward it and then passes out to the top to Mosley. Mosley goes right to Mitchell. J. Alan Tovar goes down the paint and probably have our first foul of the game. They're going to get probably Belfield.
One thing that I see Langston trying to do early, trying to get Belfield in that pick and roll, get him out of the paint, get the size of Wayland Baptist front court out of the paint with Murray as well in the pick and roll switching situations. I'm surprised it's taken them that long to try to attack and draw a foul as Tovar heads to the line for the first time today.
San Jose kid J. Alan Tovar, 62% free throw shooter on the season, steps to the stripe. Boy, he's got size, 6'10". All across that starting five, they're athletic, are the Langston Lions. Free throw is sunk by Tovar. First substitutions of the game. It's Reeser and Carson Jr. entering for Wayland Baptist University.
Reeser, a couple interesting facts about him. Played the triangle and band at one point and also hit a field goal for a scholarship during the UIL football state championships. How about that?
Tovar cans the second one. Pioneers with the ball now, 7-5 leaders, 15:42 left in the first. Leach will enter to Hill. Hill walks it across the half-court line. Now he's in the Rams logo. Good defense employed by Vontae Brown, who's in there too. Now for the Lions. Out high on the left wing is Leach. He loses the handle, almost picked off, but it goes over and back, but he's already touched, and Leach grabs the garbage and passes to the left corner. The shot clock correction. Our three officials, Josh Howell, caught that.
One thing about Langston, early going, even through substitutions, their defense is right into your shirt. I think they can pretty much tell what detergent Wayland used to wash their jerseys yesterday. That's how tenacious they are on the defensive end early on, and don't expect it to falter throughout the game.
Rodney Carson Jr. rifles a pass to Leach. One arms it to Carson Jr. No-look pass underneath, and Reeser misses it. He had a clear shot after he gets his own board.
It looks like it's going to be a foul called under the basket against Langston.
It'll be DeMonte Brown of the Lions. His first personal. Playing it underneath their own rack will be Coleman. Quentin by first name. Got a San Antonio Temple College transfer. Brings it into Reeser. Reeser then throws it out to the left wing to Hill. Hill loops around and passes to the baseline, and having his shot blocked was Rodney Carson Jr. and a foul again on DeMonte Brown. It's 2 on him and 30 seconds of game time.
Well, I think that last foul before that previous possession was called on Sharif Knox on the backside. This one, I thought it was going to be a foul on Cortez Mosley, who was short corner as the first free throw misses. But I guess it was more contact on the initial shot than it was on the backside.
Jacqueth in now for the Lions. Free throw missed by Rodney Carson Jr. 61% from the stripe. He's a Philadelphia guy, the UT Permian Basin transfer. Misses both free throws, so the Pioneers can increase a 7-5 lead, under 15 to play here in the first. Lions with the ball. Dean passes. Mosley. Mosley's pass is picked off by Hill. Hill drives in. Oh, a slow roll. There's molasses slow rolling around and in for the Pioneers. Lions now down by 4. Mosley has it. Low center circle, top of the key. The pass to Knox. Out high with it now is Queth. Baseline down goes Knox. He's with the face guard on. And it's out of bounds off Sharif Knox and the Lions.
Wayland Baptist is doing a great job switching on those V-cuts and ball screens. Langston, very active team off the ball. One thing that Wayland is going to have to continue to do is to make sure that they don't tire themselves out too quickly, trying to keep up with the speed of this Langston off-ball speed.
6'10" ball tongs in now for the Pioneers, who have a 4-point advantage. And Offensive foul whistled quickly on Quentin Coleman. So the Pioneers couldn't even get it down low, and they get blown for the foul.
How about that? A little bit too physical for both of these teams so far. And this is really what most people who are familiar with these two ball clubs expected. A very physical game, a very fast game, and that's exactly what we've seen here.
Lennox brings it in to Dean. Dean points as he walks it across the timeline. Out to J. Allen Tovar. He'll hand to his left to Mosley. Spacious defense being employed by Jones of the Pioneers. J. Allen Tovar goes down underneath. A nice bullet pass down low and scoring off the right side. Toru Dean with the basket. Pioneers have their lead shaved to 2 points. 13:45 to play in the first. WBU with the ball. Hill makes a move out of the Rams logo. Goes top to Tong. Tong wanted to throw left. He doesn't. Goes back out to wide open top of the key. Missed. Free throw by Jones. Rebounded by Reeser and a whistle. Toru Dean getting the foul called on him.
One thing I do have to commend Langston, even though they've gotten 2 quick fouls as a team over this, their guards are not afraid to get under the basket and do the dirty work and try to crash for the offensive boards. But that's what happens if you're too aggressive or overly aggressive, especially in the early going. You have a deep bench, but you don't want to go too far into it if you have to. So a lot of basketball left to be played today and possibly for a championship tomorrow.
Another whistle after the inbounds pass by the Pioneers.
It was a shot clock fix.
Yeah, we've had problems with that throughout the season here a number of times. So another shot clock fix whistle. Josh Howell is the official who keeps his eye on that. He's trying to get it corrected. Now it's set at 17. That's what he wants. He's happy with that. So it's at 17, the shot clock. 13:13 left. Now 13:25. They was 13:13, so they added 12 seconds to the game clock. So the game clock situation too. That's corrected.
There we go.
Playing on the far side, Carson Jr. for the Pioneers. Little floater stopping and popping and scoring off the right side. Low block was Hill, and the Pioneers go up by 4.
Tough bucket getting downhill in the center of the floor amongst the trees. Taking just a tad bit of contact that Langston gave him, finishing through. Great bucket.
Mosley started down the left side, then he went back to the center circle top of the key, and he throws a pass to Queth. Queth bounces to Mosley. J. Allen Tovar low block. Look at Belfield, the good defense, and in the paint down low underneath. Oh, he faded like to shoot, did Allen Tovar, and he throws it down low to Queth. Queth scores the basket. Nice move.
Great balance, great vision by Tovar. Even though we had Belfield on him, who's been giving him pretty much problems all afternoon long. Sees his cutter. Great unselfish play.
Tong with it now. He throws to his right to Hill. Hill bounces toward Tong, and it's picked off by the Lions. Here comes Mosley in the attacking zone in a hurry, and they want a goaltend. Do they get a goaltend? Well, Langston wants it, but I don't think they got it.
Either way, the foul is going to be called on Hill. Yep, count the basket. They counted it. Goaltending. It will be 1 free throw. Man, how about that?
Wow. So, and one coming. 12:27 left.
Hold it. Looks like we have our first review of the game. They're going to head to the replay and talk things over. This is the first replay review that we've had, at least here on the Antler Sports Network in this gym. Man, this is a pretty pivotal moment with about 12:27, just under 12 and a half left to go.
Major Phillips, who's the chief, is looking at it with Moses Owens. Now the other 2 of the 3 officials.
Looks like officials might be getting a result here in a couple of seconds. They have a pretty perfect angle. Had a camera right next to the right side of the score screen. That's to our right here, courtside at the SID. But the main question is, of course, all goaltending calls. Is the basketball on the way down?
Right, exactly, yep. And Langston broke real early, but then he was shooed back by Josh Howe, one of our officials. Says, "Nah, you got to get back to the huddle. Can't come out this early." Well, Pioneers remain in their huddle.
Wonder what they're talking about in that huddle. couple of Texas Wesleyan Rams here in attendance too. See Chris Lafayette on the far side.
Yeah, I was expecting a couple of Rams to be here. You see big Chris, senior. Well, we'll miss him.
All right, looks like officials have a decision. Oh, they're bringing in the third official to
guy,
take
Josh
a look.
Hall, the only guy that didn't look at the original review.
Jimmy, why don't they ask you to go over there and take a look at it?
Okay. Or is James down there? James McBride, our SID. Yeah, ask him to review.
Yeah, he's operating the instant replay. Coach Chris Wright looking.
Yep.
See if he can get a gander. This is a pretty good little time to decide a goaltending call.
Now
Scoreboard
the
is
officials done looking at it, and they're conversing. Phillips, Howell, and Owens.
Applebee's or Chili's? That's the ultimate question that we think
Or
officials
Joe's
ask.
hangout down on Rosedale here in Fort Worth. Let's go. As a matter of fact, that's where I'm going to go.
Yep,
after
looks
this
like the basket's gonna count.
So it does. Look at the end one.
Yep.
And it ties it up now. Lions tie at 11. They have a chance to take an early 12-11 lead as towing the stripe will be Cortez Mosley, the Defensive Player of the Year in the SAC. All SAC second team. All SAC D team. Other than that, he hasn't won anything. Mosley 82% on the season. Sinks that one. It's a real old-fashioned goaltending 2 plus the free throw. 12-11 Lions with lead Pioneers with the ball. They tick down to 12. 10 to play here in the first. Belfield. Nice splash in off the glass. Down low for the big fella.
Still Monday, Jimmy. The bank is still open. Good old-fashioned teardrop. Keeping it short, keeping it simple. 2 points.
With the flashy lime shoes crossing the half-court line was Roy, and he saw Lennox take a dive. Gets fouled by Belfield, does Lennox.
I think there was a loose ball foul. A little bit too much pushing and shoving under the basket. As now looks like Reeser got to check in for him.
Yep. Playing it in underneath their own rack will be Torrey Dean for the Lions. Just a tick over 12 to play in the first half. Hasn't been a smooth first half. It's
had its moments.
A lot of stoppage. Well played, though. In the number 1 seed Langston Lions, number 4 Pioneers from WBU. Lennox out top. He goes right halfway down is Roy. Roy with good defense owned by Carson Jr. They want traveling. They get it.
Jimmy, that's a 50-50 call if I've ever seen it. There was a lot of contact, at least on the lower section of the body, right in front of us here at the scores table. But did fall, did take a dribble, so I'm not 100% sure if that constitutes a travel or not. That's what that Langston on-ball defense will do to you. Keep you off balance. You got to stay on your toes.
Carson Jr. in the attacking zone out for the Pioneers goes right to Leach. Leach charges in toward the and gets tied up on the low block. Stays in this end for the Pioneers.
Have our first jump ball of the game, and it looks like it's going to stay with Wayland.
Yep. Quentin Coleman will do the inbounds chores. Little lob pass out high to Leach. Leach just on the other side of the key, left to Reeser. Reeser goes baseline with a bounce to Murray, and it's knocked out last touch by the Pioneers and Murray.
That Langston bench letting Wayland have it on offense. That's definitely something that they like to take advantage of. Scrambling the offense as much as they can, especially when they're in front of their own bench.
Wolping across the half-court line with it is Dean. And he gives it up high on the left side to Brown. Brown will toss to his right to Roy. Roy goes down the paint. Boy, a nice move by the SAC Player of the Year, Anthony Roy, scoring off the left side, putting the Lions back up by a point.
Roy skipping right down Rosedale, right down Main Street into the mayor's office. Great finish at the cup.
Pioneers with it now. Murray, far right corner, up in a 3-ball. There's Carson Jr. It fails. Jumping higher than everybody else to scrape down the board. Brown, Lions bring it into the attacking zone. There's some fancy looking shoes.
A lot of fancy shoes on the floor for both teams.
Orange, teal. line.
Pink.
Dean in the teal shoes throws to Brown. Brown with both colored shoes gives it to Roy. Roy charges in along the baseline, reverse, and he shows why he's the SAC Player of the Year for 2024. Anthony Roy with the reverse, scoring off the left side, putting the Lions up 16-13.
Jimmy, I might need a wet wipe. That was absolutely nasty finish up and under. How about that?
And the pass is picked off by the Lions. Lennox, they're in the attacking zone now with a 3-point advantage. 10-10 to play here in the first. Baseline drive with the arm pushing back is Dean. He throws it out, head and shoulder fake by Roy. Roy will cork a 3-ball stuck in. So the Lions with a quick 5-point run have built a 19-13 lead. Under 10 to play here. Let's grab a break. 9:59 left in the first. Lions up 19-13 over the Pioneers on ASN2 and ASN Radio. Welcome back to the SID, the Richardson Center, campus of Texas Wesleyan University in Fort Worth. I'm Jimmy de St. Christopher. To my left, Jared the Moose Jones. And first semifinal game here of the SAC Championships. Lions have built a 19-13 lead. Pioneers with the ball. Center circle is Coleman. He'll dribble to the right on Dean. Down low, and it's thrown out to the top to Hill. Hill didn't know what he wants to do with it. Boy, good defense. Look at Mosley jumping out. Murray goes into the paint. Murray shoots. Oh, heartbreak, no good. Rising for the board, Brown for Langston. Trying to build on that 6-point lead. Biggest lead by either team here with 9:25 to play in the first.
Does. That's exactly what Langston does. They get a couple of great momentum plays, make you take a timeout, and put you down on your heels early on. How does Wayland respond is going to be the penultimate question.
Mosley with a rifle pass to Brown, and he, like the rest of the Lions, knows what to do with it. Takes it into the paint and scores a little 6-footer, and they go up to the Lions 21-13. Pioneers have it. Just dipped under 9 to play here in the first period. Bounce pass down low by Hill. There's a 3-ball on Cork. Oh, heartbreak. High on the right side was Brett Leach. The Lions have the board. Dean just break into that lope.
Looks like Bellfield's going to be checking back in soon for Wayland, trying to muster this thing and keep it as close as possible for as long as you can. You have to keep Langston at least arm length away in terms of scoring for as long as physically possible, at least until that second half.
Perimeter ball moving, and it goes to the right side, driving, and Toru Dean, and then followed up and in by Queth. And it's a 10-point Lions advantage.
Taking another look at that putback slam. Early contender for play of the day, maybe even play of the tournament. It was already going to be a tough finish. Skipping through, great fake, gets it swatted, a follow-up slam.
Yeah. And he just
rising up.
Broke off. He wasn't blocked by anybody. He just, darted a few feet to the basket and just did the one-hand hammer.
Substitution as Toru Dean gets some much-needed rest, but guess who checks in is Ronald Mitchell, one of the best in the Sooner. Was ranked 27th out of all JUCO players coming out in 2022.
And he was also an all-SAC honorable mention. Pioneers with the ball, baseline drive, spinning. Down low is Murray. Murray is knocked down, gets fouled by Jaquavius Lennox of the Lions.
Coach Chris right to our left here, not happy at all, asking officials for an explanation. Doesn't look very pleased with that last call.
No. Jesse Owens came over and delivered a short explanation.
Short indeed, as it looks like for Wayland. Reeser will be checking back in. Had to take a bit of a walk. Maybe his ankle got tweaked a bit. Don't know what that could have been. Either way, he's back into the contest.
Murray 55% from the stripe on the season. This is the first one. Kid out of the Bronx. Spelled as his first name Neikkel. Second one on the way. And gets a high bounce, and the second one is good. So Lions will play it in with a 9-point advantage, chicken down to 8 to play here in the first period. Number 1 seeded Lions, number 4 seeded Pioneers in this SAC semifinal opener. Far left side, go around the top, and then a 3-ball on the way from the right side fails by Mosley. Fresh 20 grabbed by Knox underneath. They go low to Knox. Knox slapped down by Reeser underneath. The follow-up draws a whistle. Mosley gets fouled. Foul on Jackson Reeser.
A lot of quick substitutions here for Wayland, trying to give Langston different looks, but that could also come at the detriment to the Pioneers. Getting so many different rotations, a lot of different chemistries you have out there. Langston has been running the floor all day long.
Mosley makes good on the first free throw. Langston shooting 47 from the floor, 43 for Wayland.
And 1-for-1 on dunks, too. And our first dunk of the day.
Yeah, that right hand slammed in by Queth. Second free throw made. It's an 11-point advantage now, the biggest of the afternoon for the Lions. Pioneers with the ball. They throw it to the far left corner to Leach. It's out of bounds. We have a whistle. Foul on Mitchell of the Lions.
7th foul on the team for Langston in this half. Wayland only with 5. Both teams at one point were knotted up at fouls for a majority of the early part of the first half, but now Langston slowly but surely using that aggression to the detriment of the foul count.
Inbounds pass comes into Leach with a head and shoulder fake. Nice defense by Roy on him. He backs him into the Rams logo, and then Leach says, I've had enough. Gives it to Coleman. Coleman has his pocket picked by Lennox. Lennox misses the layup, but it's followed up and around and in and scored by guess who? Anthony Roy. Woo.
Anthony Roy, right place, right time. Great job running the floor, getting right under the basket for the offensive rebound, and even better focus, almost completely under the middle of the basket, and still finished with a kiss off the glass.
Down low underneath of the left-hander, halfway down the paint, missed by Murray, and the follow-up by Big Belfield. And Michael, 6'10" forward out of Palestine, scores it for the Pioneers, who still down by 11. Langston with the ball.
Not an insurmountable deficit by any stretch of the imagination, but you got to start getting baskets and getting them quickly, especially from downtown. Wayland only shooting 4 threes today as an offensive foul again.
It's on Devontae Brown. Oh, 44 is. They had an extra foot on Knox.
Looks like the official giving him a quick little pointer as to how to properly set that down screen. That's his second foul today, as he'll take a quick seat. Has a mask on as well, a Rip Hamilton-esque mask.
He had that on 11 days ago when the Lions played the Rams here in Fort Worth. Pioneers with the ball, they're down by 11. Carson Jr. fires to the left side, a 3-ball off the left side. Missed by Leach. They go for the board in far left corner. We've added these extra chairs here on both end lines.
Looks like
just picked J. Allen Tovar up. He was in his back to the wall. He went past that row of chairs there.
So Mitchell and Leach were clashing after the Leach 3-ball was no good. Ball almost soared out of bounds. They kind of hooked each other trying to box one another out. Turns out that Mitchell ended up sliding halfway down I-30. None of the tables here at the SID. But he's up, seems to be okay.
Dean brings in the attacking zone for the Lions. They're up by 11. There's a 3-ball off the left side as he slipped and fell, but nothing but NET. Bingo, bango, bongo. 3-ball dropped in by Jaquavius Lennox.
Great concentration, knocking down the trifecta. Langston has definitely used the 3-ball less than we would usually see them do, but they're knocking it down.
Leach misses another 3. This one from the right corner. High rebound to Carson Jr. Underneath to Belfield. Shot doesn't count.
I thought that was going to be an
offensive foul?
offensive. I thought so. Looks like it was going to be a block. And, yep, that's going to be a blocking foul that's charged against Lennox. Yeah, good old-fashioned passing crash there, Jimmy. Some people don't understand or don't remember that it doesn't have to be a ball handler going into the offender to make it an offensive foul. Opportunities like that, a pass is already made. If you're the backside help side defender, stand tall, get in your position, take the whack. I thought Lennox was in perfect position to do so, but maybe the official saw a different angle than we did.
You ever thought about going into coaching?
No.
Good. You have a great future ahead of you in broadcasting. If you ever get to the point down the road you want to coach. Free throw missed by Carson Jr. Pioneers down 30-16 to the Langston Lions. Grab a quick timeout. More college basketball coming up on ASN2 and ASN Radio. It's electric here at the Sid Richardson Center, the campus of Texas Wesleyan Fort Worth. But electric for the Langston Lions, a top seed in the SAC in this semifinal opener between they and the Wayland Baptist Pioneers are the 4 seed. 30-16 our score. Checking down to 5:30 now left here in the first half. Lions with the ball. Dean brings in the attacking zone. They work it across the top. Mitchell changes pass with Mosley. Mosley then throws to Dean. Back to Mitchell down the paint, and he scores off the right side. How do you do with all that? Wow.
Bringing it around the world. Hope he had a toll tag. Brought that thing from Dallas County to Tarrant and back to Tarrant again. Great finish up high.
And they just double up the Pioneers who have the ball down low now. Belfield working his way in, and J. Allen Tovar throws a pass, and it's picked off. Here comes Mosley, Defensive Player of the Year in the SAC. Corner pass by Dean. That one missed by Mitchell as he drove down the left side. Leach with the board for the Lions. Coach Gallian will slow his Pioneers down. Hill stands in the Rams logo, the center circle logo. Leach has it. Back to Hill. Well, it's a tough defense. Around the back, dribbling down the paint. He goes low block as the ball separated by Mitchell. Wow. They just do everything. They have a star-studded ton of talent. They play great D, and wow.
That's what active hands does for you on the defensive side of the ball, Jimmy. It's a double-edged sword. One, you can create a whole lot more turnovers, but two, you can also garner more fouls, which is why the Pioneers of Wayland are already in the bonus with another 4.5 minutes left of basketball.
Inbounds pass, they patty cake it around. It's knocked out. Attempting to steal it was Brown. He knocks it out off the line, so Pioneers to bring in. 7 to shoot on the shot clock. In it comes to Belfield. It goes out top to Carson Jr. It goes around the left with 2 seconds of the shot clock. Uno goes trace. 3 ball thrown in by Jawanta Jones.
Jones knocking it down yet again. Maybe that's what the Pioneers needed to get the lid off of the basket, at least from 3. From the field, they've been solid. It's just that 3 ball that hasn't been falling for them.
Lions have that 13-point lead. A couple ticks will have 4 to play here in the first. Nice dribbling by Roy. Roy halfway down the right side goes to the top of the key to Brown. Brown will throw it to Dean. He in turn passes left with 1 to shoot. 3 ball missed off the left side by Mosley. Boarded by the Pioneers. They come with a head of steam in the person of Carson Jr. Hill has it now as he dribbles across the top. One bounce out high to Murray, who reels it in as he went toward the half-court line and stepped inside the 3-point arc and gets a 2-point shot made.
Now, Jimmy, you know I like old-school basketball. I like a good old-fashioned mid-range pull-up. When they're not handing you the 3 on offense and you have the mid-range, why not take it? At the end of the day, it's 2 points closer than what you had the previous possession.
So Lions with the 11-point lead make it 12, 13, 14 as Anthony Roy does the ice in the veins, arm down as he sinks that 3-ball, the SAC player of the year. You can see why just in the first 17 minutes of this ball game. Belfield down low in the attacking zone for Pioneers with a foul whistle. It'll be whistle on J. Allen Tovar.
It's like Tovar and Belfield getting a bit chippy after the play. And this is what I said in the pregame, Jimmy. Expect the front court play to be a main factor, especially when it comes to foul counts, because that leads to extra points. And closer to the end of the game, it could result in extra possessions. This isn't an insurmountable lead. Langston not out of the woods just yet. Still a lot of basketball left to be played.
Belfield at the charity stripe for Wayland Baptist.
That's foul number 9 on Langston as a team. Wayland only with 5 fouls.
First attempt for DeMichael from the stripe, 61 in the season for the big guy. Misses the free throw. Rising above to rip down the board was Mosley. Lions bring it to their offensive zone. 2:45 to play here in the first. Lions trying to add to a 14-point advantage. Boy, they have sharp ball movement across the top. They're just, constantly in motion with guys going across the perimeter trying to get that open shot or an open drive. Down low they go underneath. Low block, spin, backboard, nothing else. Miss by Mosley. Pioneers with the rebound. Carson Jr. will bring it across the timeline. Boy, almost a no-look one bounce pass to Leach down low, and Brett gets fouled.
That's now going to put Langston's foul total at 10. How about this? This is definitely going to be interesting. The Midland College transfer, sophomore 6'4" guard, heading to the charity stripe. But one thing that Langston has done is getting subs in and out at a pretty good pace.
That comes big Bull Tong. Out goes Belfield for the Pioneers. Leach trying to make it 2 free throws with 2:18 to play here in the first half. He does, and the Lions see their lead go to a dozen. Paul Turner in there now for Coach Wright and the Lions. Roy comes out to get it. Go across the top, far left side with it now is Brown. Brown to Mitchell. Carson Jr. on him. He goes toward the rack down low. The stutter. He was like scraping his feet along. Missed a shot. It was rebounded underneath by Queth. And there goes Mitchell making the shot going down the right side of the paint. Wow. They don't miss.
Mitchell using that wingspan to rise above his taller defenders, and an even better job concentrating on the finish.
3-ball up from the left corner, failed by Hill and the Pioneers. Ahead it comes in a hurry, and Turner had the ball separated from him, and I think a foul coming on Brett Leach. Or did he just knock it out? No, he just knocked it out. That's a nice defensive play.
Great hands by Leach to get it right into the pocket of the basketball, right between the ball handler. Turner had open floor, thought he was going to initiate some contact earlier on to avoid that. A great job to poke it away.
Inbounds pass with a nice spin in the paint and scoring DeMonte Brown, and one coming. The old-fashioned way is fouled by Tong.
Langston around the basket today has been about as automatic as the car I drove to Fort Worth on this week. Whenever they get that far into the paint, they just can't seem to miss. I don't know what it is.
And the southpaw, DeMonte Brown out of Virginia. Makes it a 3-point play and a 17-point advantage. It's the biggest lead by the Lions this afternoon. Remember way back, it was like 12-11, 10-9.
It was a close game. It was that 3-ball from Roy before the Wayland timeout that has been the main factor into how this game has pivoted.
Charging offensive foul. Arms go up by Carson Jr.
And that gives Wayland their 7th foul. And now Langston will be shooting on the next foul. Of course, offensive foul. So when it gets into the bonus, if it's triggered by an offensive foul, no free throws.
Reeser back in for Coach Gallion and the Pioneers. 75 seconds, clock moving here in the first frame. It's been all Langston since 4 or 5 minutes in. The last 13, 15 minutes have been all Lions. Showing why they're the top seed in the SAC and number 2 in the country. Well, look at Roy, how athletic he is. He dribbles back, he dribbles forward, slaps in the reverse, goes down the paint, misses, follow up, missed by Brown. Ooh, a little chippy there. The official Howell steps into play.
A little bit
boxing
of
ref.
Maybe a little bit of chit-chat between both Brown and Tong. Tong out of Kansas City, Missouri. Former Division I player, played at the University of New Orleans prior to arriving here in the Lone Star State on the Pioneer team.
They've had 5 D1 players have the Pioneers, a couple of JUCO guys, a couple of D2 transfers.
I think Wayland believed that was just a 1-and-1 foul, but it was called on the shot. Less than a minute to go before the half. It's fair to say, Jimmy, there's going to be 2 different locker room talks coming into the half.
Absolutely. And the southpaw, Brown makes it 41-23 Lions. Pioneers with the ball. Leach will bring it through the Rams logo, crossing the half-court line. Nice spin move on Lennox. Passes across the top to Carson Jr. Leach to Reeser. Reeser, he's missed like 4 of those from that area high on the right side. 3 ball fails, rebounded by the Lions. Down low underneath, they tried the alley-oop, but it was saved down low by Queth. Follow-up shot was missed by Brown. Now the Pioneers have it. 15 seconds left in the speedy first half. 41-23 Lions. Low block drive, right side of the paint, and knocked down to the floor. Carson Jr.
If you're Langston, that's probably one of the last things you wanted. Still a good chunk of time left to get some kind of momentum going for these Pioneers. Worst case scenario, if you're Langston, free throw misses, they get an offensive board and maybe one more clear crack at a shot. You want them to just try to get something off at the very end of the half, make them force something contested or a more difficult shot than needed to be taken.
Rodney Carson Jr. looking for his first free throw. Doesn't get it on that one. He's 0 out of 4. Wow.
Looks like Dean's going to check in for maybe Langston's going to try to set up for a full court heave or maybe something to close out the half.
Joshua Tucker will come in here in the last second for Tong as Bull will grab a chair. 5.9 left here in the first half. Carson Jr. finally makes a free throw. It's 1 out of 5 for minutes. 41-24 Lions with 5 seconds left. In a hurry they come in the attacking zone. And a 3-ball is hit by Ronald Mitchell. Look at him stream out and head toward the locker room with the 43-24 first half lead.
Well, Jimmy, looks like you might want to pick up the phone because I called it. Thought they were going to try to chuck up something at the end. Man, what a way to end the half.
Wow, it is halftime here, our first semifinal game. The Oklahoma Ford Dealers Sooner Athletic Conference Championship semifinals. Number 1 seed Langston Lions, number 4 seed Wayland Baptist Pioneers. It's been all Lions. They have a 41-24 lead here at the half. Let's grab a break and we'll proceed with our halftime show. It's coming up. College basketball on ASN2 and ASN Radio continues after this.
Everything. At Pelche Key and Tyler, we're tough, never quit.
Find your support system. At Texas Wesleyan, you'll get the one-on-one attention you need to succeed. Texas Wesleyan, small classes, big scholarships. Now that's smaller, smarter.
Halftime at the Sid Richardson Center, the campus of Texas Wesleyan University in Fort Worth. Trinity St. Christopher, Jared the Moose Jones on the Atlas Sports Network. What the hell's going on? 4 being attacked from behind. Did he want something? Officially, okay. Boy. Anyway, it's the worst thing you can do is attack me from behind, especially when I'm on the air. Anyway, let's do some stats here. Anthony Roy, 12 points. The leader, the SAC player of the year. 12 points for the Langston Lions, who are shooting 49%, 45 from three-point land, 88 from the charity stripe. Roy's the only guy in double figures. They have Ronald Mitchell with 7 and 6 for DeMonte Brown off the chairs, 5 apiece for Dean and Mosley. Losing the board war, Langston. Down 16-15 to the Pioneers in the board battle. Their leading rebounder for the Lions, it's Queth with 4. And for the listed as the visiting team, the Wayland Baptist University Pioneers, nobody in double figures. It's DeMichael Belfield with 8. He's their leading boarder with 4, along with Cale Murray. He has 4 as well. 41% from the floor for Wayland, 25% from three-point land, and they're shooting a lousy 4 out of 9. That's 44% from the charity stripe. Points in the paint, all Louis Langston University with 22-10 points in the paint. Points off turnovers, all Langston University 15-2. Second chance points, Langston 9-6 over WBU's 6. Bench points, 13 for Langston to 4 for WBU. We had the early score, Jared, where it was tied twice and the lead changed 3 times, but that went away pretty quick. The largest lead by WBU was 4. That was at 17:03 left, so it was the first 3 or 4 minutes, but then it was all Langston. They're showing why they're the number 1 team in the SAC and number 2 in the country.
Well, if you're Wayland in the locker room with head coach Clint Galion, this is pretty much the perfect song that's playing here at the Sid Richardson Center to describe what that talk is like. Time keeps on slipping, and your season is slowly falling away, not at really your own expense. It's a simple fact that no one this really consistently this entire season has been able to crack the Langston defense code. We saw from the very beginning of the game the tone they were going to set. They were going to be fast. They were going to be physical. They were going to be active. That's exactly what we're seeing here. The big man play between Tovar and Belfield. We saw things get a little bit chippy on the opposite side later on in the half. Don't know if that's going to be a developing factor in this game. Not 100% sure. But it's fair to say they're not afraid to go at one another. Tovar has the height advantage. Belfield has the weight advantage. Both guys using it perfectly. But if you're Wayland, continue to control the boards and just be better from the charity stripe. As I always tell when I coach every once in a while a little bit of high school and middle school youth basketball, don't leave chicken on the bone. In this case, the chicken that's getting left is points at the free throw line. And maybe 1 point, but if you miss 7 free throws in a game, that's 7 points you miss out on. That's almost a double-digit swing. So if you're Wayland, stay consistent at the line. Handle yourselves, stay poised, stay composed against this Langston defense, and control the basketball as much as you possibly can.
Yeah, they are splendid on both sides of the ball. The Lions are, and 6 guys in their coach on all conference SAC teams. Chris Wright is the SAC coach of the year. Cortez Mosley, the defensive player of the year. Anthony Roy, the SAC player of the year. Also the newcomer of the year. Anthony Roy, all athletic first team. Dean, first team. Second team. Mosley, third team. Brown, honorable mention. Ronald Mitchell. All defensive teams, we said. Mosley and J. Allen Tovar is on that as well. So just star-studded and really good defense and offense, but both sides of the ball, they're just spectacular.
Well, of course, and as we talked about in the pregame, Jimmy, both of these teams pretty much equal in terms of the numbers department, and we get to see them in the semifinal. Matthew or John Brown is going to have to take on one of these teams, and it's fair to say whoever comes out of this one, I would say could be an early favorite to take home the championship because you're battle-tested already. This is some of the best basketball played in the country between the two teams on the floor now. But if you're Mid-American or if you're Mid-America or John Brown, you have a lot of offense on your side. If you're going against Langston, you're going to need it. If you're going against Wayland, you're going to need a whole different repertoire. So if you're either team that's already in the building behind us here at the Sid, you're watching closely, you're taking notes, because whoever you have to meet in that championship game is going to be an uphill fight.
And Langston halfway to playing in the title game tomorrow night. They'll play the winner of our game coming up next here from Fort Worth. That's John Brown and Mac Hughes. Let's grab a break. We'll be back. It's halftime here at the Sid. Langston all over WBU. It's 44-24. More college basketball on ASN2 and ASN Radio after this.
Everything. At Pelche Key and Tyler, we're tough, never quits.
Find your support system. At Texas Wesleyan, you'll get the one-on-one attention you need to succeed. Texas Wesleyan, small classes, big scholarships. Now that's smaller, smarter.
everything. At Pelche Kia and Tyler, we're tough, never quits.
Halftime over here at the Sid Richardson Center, the campus of Texas Wesleyan University in Fort Worth. Jimmy de St. Christopher, Jared Moose Jones on the Antler Sports Network with the Oklahoma Ford Dealers Championship semifinal first game. Number 1 Langston against number 4 Wayland Baptist. It's been all Langston Lions. They're up 44-24, Moose, as we start play here in the second half.
You know the old trope in broadcasting, a tale of two halves. Well, if you look at this game, this could really be the tale of one half that will split into two halves. At the beginning of this one, we saw a highly contested contest. Wayland not pulling any punches, but it was that 3-ball from Roy in the about halfway through the first half that was the turning point that gave us our current score.
Oh, look at that sweet pass down low from Dean underneath to J. Allen Tovar, and he just rose up. I thought he was going to slam it, but it was just a slow roll around, and Lions scored the first 2 points of the second half, build their lead, which was 20, their largest lead, to 22. Down the paint comes Hill. Hill makes the bucket and one gets fouled. So good start, the first possession here for the Pioneers in half number 2.
If you're looking at Wayland coming out of this break, they're a lot more patient. You're seeing a lot more retreat dribbles from their guards, and that's what it's going to take if you're going to try to take down the speed and tenacity of this Langston defense. Your guards have to be patient, they have to be methodical, and they have to make every possession count.
Hill's first visit to the stripe tonight for Tajay out of Rochester, New York. 74 on the season. He had 5 D1 offers out of high school.
There's a lot of talent on both of these teams, whether that be at their current schools at Wayland and Langston respectively, or in their past. That's one thing about NAIA basketball I think a lot of people overlook. There's a lot of D1 talent that could probably play overseas or move back up to the D1 level.
And Coach Gallion had said at the beginning of the season, the Pioneers have 5 D1 guys. A couple JUCOs, a couple D1 2 transfers as well. So 3-point play, old-fashioned way, is made by the Pioneers. Lions with the ball, trying to add to a 46-27 lead. They fail with a high miss off the right side by Dean, but a big scrape of the boards and a fresh 20. Roy now controlling things as he backs toward the half-court line. He pops a left-hander there off the side. A high rebound in the paint made by Murray and the Pioneers. Is a 3-ball from way outside. Front lip missed by Hill. Fresh 20 grabbed by Murray and the Pioneers. Hill has it. He'll go down toward the paint and stumbling and fumbling. He goes to the 94 by 50-foot hunk of wood and
looks like didn't tiptoe out of bounds. Trying to save it and keep possession was Mosley. Great hustle by the 6'5 combo senior. Just not able to stay in bounds. That official had a perfect eye on him. If his shoe size was maybe half a size smaller, might have stayed in bounds. Wayland will take another crack at it on offense.
Murray will bring in for the Pioneers. Out goes Roy, and Lennox comes in for Langston. Murray, the inbounds chore, gets it to Belfield. Leach fires a pass to the right corner. Coleman. Baseline drive by Belfield with the right hand. The big fella out of Palestine. Your neck of the woods.
That's East Texas, as we like to call it. That man is good old-fashioned cornbread fed. Getting right down on the block, going to work. Great strength and great control for the finish.
High on the left side with the pass. Dean, a whistle before that, blown by Major Phillips, one of our 3 officials. Foul on Cale Murray. It's 3 on Mikhail.
That's going to get murky, especially down the stretch.
Dean brings it in for the Lions. Mitchell threw it Down low underneath and getting hammered to the floor was Mosley, defensive player of the year. He'll have 2 shots forthcoming for Cortez.
One thing about this Langston, well, really both of these teams, they take hard falls that make us here at the sideline, at least at the broadcast side of the sideline, kind of flinch or cringe a bit, but they pop right back up, ready to go. Great toughness from both of these teams today.
Absolutely. Murray, real good free throw shooter, 82% as he's 4 out of 4 from the stripe this afternoon. Reeser back in for Coach Gallian's Pioneers. Out goes Murray. Second one airborne, and that swishes through. So perfecto on 5 free throw attempts by Mosley. It's 48-29. Langston with the lead, Pioneers with the ball here in the second frame. Center circle top of the key pass to Coleman. Coleman works around on Dean. Down low, 2 players, 1 on each side. Down, shot missed. Reeser with the board, tried to get it out. That was tipped back to him. He throws it out high, and a miss by Leach up top. Well, Dean seems to get a lot of high rebounds, or rebounds that fall to him, and he just walks it into the attacking zone.
It's almost like he has a magnet inside of the ball and on his hands. It's just bringing the basketball at these awkward angles, skying through for it.
Oh, a nice little carry up, hanging in the lane down low. A little 4-footer made beautifully by Cortez Mosley. Boy, it just never, every possession they have somebody do something spectacular. There's a little finger roll off the right side low. Get knocked down after the follow-up make was Hill. He gets clipped by the aforementioned Mosley. So Hill back at the charity stripe with another and 1 attempt.
That's a grown man and 1 right there, Jimmy. On the drive, first runner is short, gets it back through contact, nails the layup. They'll head the line to get 3 the hard way.
Brown and Knox return for the Lions as Hill toes the stripe. Out of Rochester, it was a Niagara University transfer. An all SAC third team for Emil. So Hill makes the 3-point play, and Lions with the ball and an 18-point advantage. Here in 17 to play, here in the second half.
Hill and Belfield in double figures for Wayland, taking on most of the scoring load for the Pioneers. I expect them to maybe try to pass the P's a bit more to try to get more involved, especially with the depth that Langston has.
Knox hopping, skipping, jumping down the right side, using the backboard to perfection. Boy,
it's almost, you can't figure it out as a mid-range bucket falls. You can't figure out how Langston is able to just almost seemingly throw themselves at the bucket, contort themselves at these wonky angles, and still finish with such ease. I don't get it. I don't know. There's a reason I studied broadcasting, not physics.
Hill delivered a 3-ball for the Pioneers in their last possession. Now there's a whistle as the Lions have it. Tong back in for Belfield for WBU. Foul on the Pioneers as bringing it in the far side now for the Lions will be Lennox to Dean. Mitchell, they go around the top. Lennox, Dean is in the Rams logo, starts down the right elbow, right corner pass, baseline drive, back out, and a head and shoulder fake by Dean. It's poked away, out of bounds, off the Lions Pioneers ball. This can't seem to, there's like a big wall of blue, orange, and white. You know?
A lion-sized wall, maybe? Call it the main.
An invisible wall, like aliens use when they can't see the cloaks, the stealth cloaking. You can't see their ship and you run into it.
If it's a lion, will we call it the main instead of the wall?
Yeah, we'll call it a main.
How about that?
Big, thick, tough main to crack. Bull out high for the Pioneers. He goes into the paint, loses the handle. Knox picks it off. He dishes to Dean. Toru. All SAC first team brings it into the attacking zone for the Lions, trying to increase a 52-34 lead, 15.5 play here in the second. Roy back in there now. Nice dribbling on Leach. Roy goes around him to the baseline, gets cut down, knocked to the 94 by 50-foot hunk of wood, and a foul call on Brett Leach.
Want to give kudos to the sophomore 6'4" guard and Leach. He's had one of, if not the toughest job in the gym today, having to go head up one-on-one with pretty much everything Langston has thrown at him. He's taking matchups against guards, matchups against forwards. He's taking a beating, but he's staying in there and still fighting hard with still over 15 minutes left of basketball to be played here in the semifinal.
Langston faithful giving Ron Mitchell a big hand as he seats himself on the chairs to our left.
Hey, they're switching.
Second free throw fails. Board cleared by the Pioneers. Hill with some fancy dribbling across the timeline. Defended by Dean. Down the paint, little floater, nice shot. Heartbreak, no good. He gets knocked down and draws a two-shot foul, knocks the fouler.
And another foul on Knox. That's foul number 3 for him. Still a lot of time left on the clock. Fair to say he might take a quick little break on the bench. Because again, I do want to recognize that is a nice clear mask. I always like players have the mask. You see Kobe, Kyrie, LeBron. Of course, the pioneer of it all, Rip Hamilton and Moses Malone, respectively.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. It's the Hill free throw shooting show here in the second half as Ajay at the stripe. Makes good on that one. He's 3 out of 3 from the line. Now adds to his 13-point, which is tops for the Pioneers.
Former Ronald McDonald House All-Star back in his home state of New York.
Second one is a good one. So 2 free throws made by Hill. Timeout call by Coach Gallion and the Pioneers. 15-11 left. It's a full. Let's grab 1-2. Lions 52, Pioneers 36. The Antler Sports Network family of platforms. This is Oklahoma Ford Dealers SAC Men.
Everything. At Pelche Kia and Tyler, we're tough, never quits.
Here in the second half, game which all but maybe the first 4 or 5 minutes has been all Langston. Lions leading the Pioneers 52-36. Lions with the ball. Winner will move to the championship game, playing the winner of our next game, John Brown and Mac U. Dean has it now, smack dab in the middle of the Rams logo, gets it back, does Toru. Toru out high to Knox, left wing three ball made by DeMonte Brown, the kid out of Petersburg, Virginia. Makes it a 55-36 lead.
Langston has been able to move the ball around so effortlessly, and another thing that I've noticed, all their shooters, when they're moving in that 4-out, 1-in offense, their feet already, their hands already, as soon as they catch it, they're just ready to let it fly for a great high percentage shot from downtown.
Bull just stepped on the left corner sideline. So it turns it over back to the Lions, trying to build another 20-plus lead.
We talked about it in the pregame, Jimmy. You can't give Langston any breathing room, let alone too much breathing room. They'll suffocate you.
Yep. Yeah, you give them just a fraction of breathing area and put the pillow over it and just sit on it for the whole game. Center circle, top of the key, pass to Dean. Dean gets it back. Dean drives in on Bull, does a loop around, throws it to Knox coming down the paint, and a charging foul called on Sharif Knox of the Lions.
Now Knox with that foul. That gives him 4. Now both teams knotted up at 4 fouls apiece.
Yep, Murray has 4 for the Pioneers.
It surely helps that guys like Hill have been so pretty much lights out from the charity stripe today for Wayland, because that's going to be one of, if not the biggest factor of the Pioneers getting back into this one. They have to continue to be consistent from the line. Those points add up.
Carson Hill, Reeser, Belfield, Coleman on the floor for Coach Gallion and the Pioneers. Boy, look at that defense by Roy right in front of us at the half-court line. Down low on the right side, Carson. Center circle, top of the key, head and shoulder fake by Hill. Hill loses it, but gets popped in the face. They're going to call the foul on Roy. Yep. That's his first foul.
Well, Jimmy, we saw right in front of us here in living color, and those watching at home might have been able to hear it as well. But Langston's defense isn't just with their hands and feet. They'll talk to you, they'll gnaw at you, they'll claw at you. They're like that one annoying in-law that comes over for Thanksgiving. Once you let them in, they'll just never leave.
Yeah, they won't go away. You're here for how long? Coleman down the paint gets knocked down to the chunk of wood.
Another
His
offensive
whistle for a foul.
Yeah, that's back-to-back offensive fouls. This might be the most charges we've seen taken this
Dueling
year.
charges.
Dueling charges. Sounds like someone stole your credit card.
So taking care of some moisture there in the restricted area right below the Pioneers basket. Bringing his in is Lennox to Mitchell. Brown, Roy. Mosley away in the attacking zone. Mosley in the paint, shoots it up and in. Does he get the and one?
I think it was on that initial shot. Don't think it's going to be an and one. Yep.
No, he gets 2 shots.
It's going to be 2 shots. But I bet if you're Langston, I'm sure you'll be fine with that. Just another trip to the line and putting the Pioneers deeper and deeper in foul trouble. But Wayland and head coach Clint Gallion not afraid to make substitutions.
Especially with Mosley shooting free throws. That's his 6th out of 6, 82 in the season. So it's another 20-point lead for the Lions and make it 21. 7 out of 7 from the stripe. Perfecto for Cortez Mosley. SAC player of the week. A couple weeks ago, D player of the year. All SAC second team, all SAC D team. Well, let's see their trophy case at Langston. 3 ball. Well, I thought it was coming out. It's made by Hill off the right side. Looked like it was coming back, but had enough apex to go over and in.
The Sid Richardson roll on the side of the Pioneers on that last bucket. Definitely what they needed. They've been pretty cold from 3. Again, Jimmy, this might be what they need to try to warm up that offense. It's like an old Cadillac. You can't just start it and go. You got to give it a second.
It's went under 13 to play here in the second. The 3 ball is popped from the right side. Failed by Lennox. Gets his own board somehow, way out top to Mitchell. Mitchell's going to up a 21-footer and a 1-2-3 bingo, bango, bongo for the Lions, making it 60-39. Timeout on the floor here at the Sid. 12:36 left in the second. It's been all Lions. They continue their big lead. They lead the Pioneers 60-39. College basketball on ASN2 and ASN Radio continues after this.
Everything. At Pelche Key and Tyler, we're tough, never quit.
Hey there, hi there, ho there. Jimmy the Saint, Jared the Moose, in the Atlas Sports Network. It's 16-39. Langston Lions all over the Wayland Baptist University Pioneers with 12:36 left here in the second. The winner will advance to tomorrow night's championship game. That winner will be decided in the second game. Who the winner of this one will play. It'll either be John Brown or Mac Hugh. Pioneers with the ball down low. Belfield gets clubbed. They want to jump ball to the Lions, but nope. Even if they do, it would stay in this end. But foul called on Lennox of Langston.
Lennox, that's foul number 3 on him. Between him and Knox, really the only two in some notable foul trouble for Langston. That defense, as we'll keep mentioning throughout the broadcast, is going to get you some extra fouls, but if you're the Lions, it's definitely working.
Palestine Westwood highs to Michael Belfield. Misses on his second free throw attempt of the afternoon. Failed on the first one, too.
Always good to see a little bit of East Texas representation. Of course, the Antler Sports Network based in Tyler. That's about Palestine, a good hour and change south of the Rose City.
Second free throw pumped in by Belfield. They crack 40 to the Pioneers. Trouble is Lions have 60 with 12:20 to play here in the second. And the ball for Langston. Point guard Mitchell exchanges passes on each side, then dribbles toward the left wing. Big Belfield out to get him. Nice block by Belfield as Mitchell said, to heck with it, I'm going to go in on the big fella. Sorry, he did as he got swatted down.
Don't get paid enough to go up against a guy like that. Belfield, if Langston has the main, what would be the wall for the Pioneers? Just simply the wall? We just give them a wall?
Yeah, a wall of wagons, I guess. Of steel wagons. Shot blocked, and in the attacking zone quickly comes the Pioneers, and making the and one and getting knocked to the base of the basket was Carson Jr.
Thought he was going to try to be slick and get that last foul. Didn't slide in quick enough. Great concentration and finish by Carson Jr. as he'll head to the line for his first big play of the day.
Rodney, 1 out of 5 from the stripe. He was that one going the other way in the first half. So this is first free throw attempt here in the second. Yeah, just can't get it to go in. It's 1 out of 6. Doesn't get the three-point play. Lions lead it 60-42. They have the ball. Just went under 12 about 10 seconds ago here in the second frame. Way downtown, left-handed three ball pumped up by Roy. Missed. The arms of Hill, a high rebound. Hill bounces down low. Reeser, nice bounce pass to Reeser, and Jackson takes it up and in off the right side. That was a beautiful play. Nice feed.
Reeser had to race to meet that bounce pass. It was in the right place, right time. Perfect pocket pass, keeping it away from his defender with that outside of his hand, keeping it towards the opposite side of the basketball. That's some of the little things that just really, really sticks out in college basketball.
Dean grabs a double team, and he throws it to Roy, and then Dean gets it back. Wide open three ball missed. Roy grabs the board and swatted down by Belfield. But Alan Tovar out high with the fresh 20 and double dribble.
No, looks like it was had to reset on the shot clock to get it to 20.
Okay.
Oh, just to 14. Thought it was going to be 20 if it was initially bobbled, but no full change of possession. So that one constitute a reset of the shot clock to 20. So we'll just simply recall and get back to 14.
Lions play in with the 14 to shoot and 11 in the second half. Roy, those lime shoes underneath the Alan Tovar. What a move for the big kid down low. Alan Tovar to San Jose. You knew the way to the basket. Like you know the way to San Jose.
I like that, Jimmy. I can respect the reference.
Reeser, quick kick out to Carson. Almost looked like a high dribble. The Hill tries his luck with a three ball. Off the right side, fails off the front lip. In the arms of Mitchell, he'll give to Dean, who'll rope it across the half-court line. And Roy, they exchange passes. Dean gets it back. Alan Tovar now right wing with Belfield on him. Roy wants to make a move. He does, but good defense by Leach out there out high. They go down low as Belfield rejecting the shot and rejecting the second shot and knocking Mosley down. Langston not afraid to comment on the floor to the other players.
That's foul number 3 on Belfield. As Belfield speaking to his assistant coaches. Thought it could have possibly been just maybe a combined smack on the jump ball, or no jump ball call. Instead, just a common foul called against Belfield. And now head coach for Wayland, Clint Galeon, letting the officials know his 2 cents.
Mosley trying to make it 8 out of 8 from the stripe. And he does. Boy, he's perfect. He has 12 points, 8 of those via the charity stripe.
Well, this is interesting. Looks like Wayland's going to come onto the floor with a little bit of small ball. Could possibly be Murray, who's the designated 5, or also could be Rodney Carson. That's the designated 5, but no true 4 or 5. But also looking on the floor if the free throw gets knocked down. I might say Leach could be the makeshift for the small ball center or the pivot spot for Wayland.
Mosley with his 13-point, not perfect, 9 out of 9. Pioneers down by 20. Under 10 to play. Nice move. Hill threw it to a charging down the right side Carson Jr. Beautiful feed and nice score. Lions up 64-46. Grab a quick break. 9:50 left here in the second half. College basketball on ASN2 and ASN Radio continues after this timeout.
Everything. At Pelche Kia and Tyler, we're tough, never quits.
Back at the Sid Richardson Center, Texas Wesleyan campus, Fort Worth. Jimmy Christopher the Saint, Jared Jones the Moose. 9:50 left here in the second. It's been all Lions except for maybe the first 4 or 5 minutes of this thing.
If you're a Langston Lion fan watching the broadcast today, you're definitely sitting on your couch, easy chair, bed, wherever. You're definitely happy with the performance that the Lions have delivered today.
Lions in no hurry. Let's play those perimeter passes, bounce passes, straight passes to a wide open off the left side. 3-ball failed by Dean. Rebounded by Murray, and the Pioneers ahead. Right corner, Carson Jr. almost lost the handle. Then he knocks down Roy. It's going to be a blocking foul on Roy. So a rare foul on the SAC player of the year. 2 on Anthony Roy. No shooting situation for the Pioneers.
Quick substitution here for Langston. Lennox is going to...
They are going to shoot free throws.
Yeah, got him in the bonus. Now both teams will be shooting at least 1 and 1 the rest of the way in this game.
So Carson Jr., Rodney by first name, out of Philadelphia, PA. Also UT Permian Basin. Free throw stripe with the orange shoes. Cans the first one.
One thing I do have to commend Wayland, even though they had a pretty good trip almost across a third of the entire state of Texas, they showed up pretty well behind us.
Rogers, who was 1 out of 6, cans 2 free throws. There's now a 16-point gap. Still time, but they're going to start playing D and causing turnovers and scoring.
Got to get a move on.
Yep.
No time better than the present.
Across the top they go, and then down, hopping, skipping, jumping, and missing down the paint goes Mitchell. Boarded by Leach and the Pioneers. Coach Gallion encouraging his team to get back into the offensive zone. Hill, some fancy dribbling. Defending on him, Dean. Hill goes into the paint. Dean rejects him, but they're going to call Dean for the foul. A couple shots coming.
I don't know about you, Jimmy, but coming out of that possession after Leach corralled that defensive rebound, it's almost like you can slowly but surely see the attitude in this Wayland offense change. They smell that if they just have one opportunity, one pivotal changing moment, they can get back into this game. Still a lot of basketball left to be played.
And Hill makes good on the free throw. Tajay now 5 out of 5 from the stripe. They can hit the 50 burger here. And they do. The Pioneers down by 14, 8:46 remaining in the second. Winner advances to the championship game tomorrow night. They'll play the winner of John Brown and Mac U, which comes up immediately after this one here on the Atlas Sports Network. Muscling around Hill was Dean. Hill gets called for the foul. 1-on-1 situation now for the Lions.
Wayland slowly but surely trying to march back into this one and went into halftime down 20. A couple of missed free throws here and a nice offensive possession or two. Wayland still has a lot of hope to get back into this game. Is it against the number 1 seed? Sure. But they've shown that they can stay with them.
Especially if the Lions miss free throws like they just did, but there's a foul underneath.
In that first half, Langston was solid from the charity stripe. Went 7 for 8. Wayland went 4 for 9. But it seems like the roles have reversed now. Wayland looks like the better free throw shooting team in the second half than Langston does.
Yeah, absolutely. Dean to bring it in for the Lions underneath. Oh, Dean got it back. They pitch it back to Dean, and he just scored with the right hand off the left side.
That's the first time in Antler Sports Network history that we've seen that happen.
Oh, offensive foul. Who are they going to blow that on? Oh, it's on Mikhail Murray.
Taking another look at the cheeky inbounds pass right off of the defender's back and just finish it off for 2. That's one way to get 2 points.
Buzzers blowing all over. Guys coming in, guys standing on the sideline. Knox ready to come in. They haven't let him in yet. Reeser's coming in, though, for
it looks like Murray's afternoon is over. That's his fifth.
It is fifth.
A huge
Cal finishes with just 3 points and the 5 fouls. 6 rebounds, though. Lions with it. Here in 8 to play here. And the big lead for Langston, 66-50. Knox will get out high. Dishes to Dean. Dean goes near the free throw line. Left wing, out to Dean again. 8 to shoot. Over the shoulder pass to Knox. Baseline drive. Belfield there with good defense by DeMichael. Boy, they go for it and they get the fresh 20. The person of Brown. Brown throws it way out near the half-court line. Standing in the teal shoes, motionless, was Dean. Now he moves, hands it to Alan Tovar. 7 to shoot. He does. Top of the key. 3 missed. Knox with a nice board. He blocked out and got another fresh 20.
Third time's the charm.
Yeah,
Langston controlling the offensive glass.
Left corner, 3 ball on the way. Bingo, bango, bongo for Delonte Brown. They go up by 19 to the Lions.
That's worst case scenario if you're Wayland. So many opportunities that were taken away from you just from not being able to collect the defensive glass. And now, this is what we expect from the Lions.
And they get a steal, a shovel by Dean underneath, and a score by Knox. And now they're turning it on, and it's 21-point lead. A 3-ball hit from the halfway down the left side by Quentin Coleman for the Pioneers. Coach Gallion wants a full timeout and take 1 too. 6:57 left in the second. Lions of Langston 71, Pioneers of Wayland Baptist University 53. More college basketball on ASN2 and ASN Radio coming up.
everything. At Pelche Kia and Tyler, we're tough, never quits.
Three ticks under 7 to play, second half here at the SID in Fort Worth at Texas Wesleyan University's campus. First game of the semifinals of the SAC championship. In all Langston, they're up 71-53 of the Lions, and with the ball. Dean, Roy, Alan Tovar, Monte Brown, whistle.
Whistle, I don't know if it was a shot clock. Yep. Shot clock gets reset to back to 30 seconds. Thought the referee was pointing at Coach Chris Wright. Don't know if he said something about his shoes being ugly or the shirt's dirty or what it was.
And Sharif Knox is the 5th Lion out there in white, orange, and blue. Coach Gallion stamping and shouting. Get his defense together here. Far right side, there's a foul on Alan Tovar in the offensive zone.
Legal screen called on Tovar. That's something we really don't see from him. The big man out of San Jose, the 6'10 senior, 6'11 senior. Pretty good at setting screens and creating open space. Got whacked for that one.
Hill arches a 3 ball ahead the arc, but hits the front lip off in the arms of Roy and Langston. That's a big 18-point lead. Won 9 in a row, 21 out of 22. Whistle blown.
Looks like it's going to be another foul.
On Reeser.
Another off-ball foul at least. Reeser only his second. 2 players on the floor with 3 fouls for Wayland, as being both Hill and Belfield. 2 very pivotal players. Hate for them to foul out.
Free throw missed by Sharif Knox. They made 3 straight state titles in high school. Philadelphia lad.
Fair to say, the St. Joseph University transfer is a winner.
Yep. A lot of rings for high school. 3 in a row. Wow.
Free
throw is good.
Feel sorry for the jeweler.
I've seen the Rams football tri-championship rings, and they're huge. I don't know if they're quartz, but Coach Joe had them on display at the signing party they had a few weeks ago. They were big things. Belfield with the ball at the Pioneers almost lost it, and 2 times he almost gets shredded. Gains control, and
Travel violation gets called.
Yeah.
Too many steps under the basket. Belfield looked like he might have had better balance than a backside official might have seen him have. Was pivoting, looking around the floor, didn't have any way out. Either way, it's going to be a turnover. Possession will go to the Lions.
no official howl now over talking to the clock keepers. What's the problem now, shot or game?
Looks like they're going to add a couple of seconds to the game clocks. If I heard correctly, a 5-second addition, and yep, that's exactly how much gets thrown on the board.
So 5:53 left in the second. Lions with the ball, big lead of 72-53. Trying for their 10th win in a row. More importantly, trying to get to the SAC championship game tomorrow night. Try to pass it down along the baseline left to Mosley. Missed 3 of them by Dean. Another fresh 20. Coach Gallion just kind of shrugs her shoulders and gets back to the chairs for the Pioneers. Underneath pass, a double fake, and then a hammer ring of Ronald Mitchell. Boy, he's long and lean. He looks bigger than that's Queth. I'm sorry. Jacques Queth is 6'7".
He looks a lot taller than 6'7", at
Doesn't
least
he?
from afar, especially that wingspan. It's like an octopus, just reaches over, touches the ball, gets it back up again. As we see his release on the free throw there, definitely so. Kid has a massive wingspan.
Yeah, he does. He's long and lean. His roots in Sudan, South Sudan.
Has a lot of D1 basketball in his blood, too. Not only did he play at San Diego State, his brother played for Marquette.
Yeah, and he's from Salt Lake, is Jock.
That's got to be an interesting talk at the Thanksgiving table, huh? No, I'm D1. No, I'm D1.
I'm D1.
Both
no,
of
I'm
them
D1. I played at San Diego State. And he was a KJ CCC Defensive Player of the Year in 21. Missed shot by Pioneers in the offensive zone. Lions get it back with a 20-point lead, floating and hanging high and going down the lane, making it to Monte Brown. I tell you, he's a pretty darn good 6th or 7th man off the chairs. He's Brown.
If you have somebody like that is that skilled and is that versatile off the bench, you got to feel good about your shot.
Quentin Coleman drills a 3. Top of the key for the Pioneers. Down 75-56 now with 4:40 and counting here in the second. Charging around the top and throwing a pass out to a wide open Roy. Roy with the fake. He shedded the Leach and misses the 2-point ball. And Hill with the high rebound comes across the half-court line and gets belted.
Phil Rudin, great job of controlling himself. Wanted to lash out for a second, corralled himself back together. And instead of let his frustrations be known on the sideline where he's less likely to get a technical foul.
We're talking about DeMonte Brown. He's all SAC third team, and he doesn't start.
How about that?
Yeah.
Man.
He's their leader in points now with 14 today. Hill, back iron miss. That's his first miss, Tajay's first miss out of 7 attempts today.
That's a heck of a backcourt there for
Isn't
Langston.
it? Wow. And Mosley with 13, 9 free throws made. Roy, SAC Player of the Year with a dozen. Mitchell, all SAC, honorable mention, has 10. And Dean has 7, but he's not a good point guard. I'll run the point as Mitchell. Throws it to aforementioned Roy. Roy back to Mitchell. It's a little lob pass down low. There's the lanky Queth. Queth with some fancy moves, little sky hook in the paint. Misses but gets fouled.
A little bit of shake and bake under the basket by the 6'7" senior. Now it looks like Wayland's going to send out Belfield to try to put a stop to that because he's done a great job around the basket in the little stint that he's had here in the latter part of this second half.
Second free throw is sunk by Queth. Under 4 to play in this thing. First semifinal game here of the SAC championships in Fort Worth. But all Lions, number 2 team in the country, number 1 seed. Pioneers with the ball now is losing the handle. Coleman. Here is Brown with the left-handed layup, scoring his 15th and 16th point. Hill will bring it into the zone for listed as the visiting team, the Pioneers. Way downtown, a 3-ball pumped up. It just grazed a little bit of the front of the rim. Follow-up made by Reeser after the Coleman miss. Timeout on the floor, 3:20. Scrabble full. We'll be back with more as Lions leading the Pioneers 78-59. More coming up on ASN2 and ASN Radio.
Everything. At Pelche Kia and Tyler, we're tough, never quits.
winding down the timeout. Look at the big, beautiful boards here at the Sid Richardson Center, Texas Wesleyan campus. 3:20 left on it, but all Langston Lions, 78-59, showing why they're the number 1 seed in the SAC, number 2 in the country. They're not taking anything away from Clint Gallion's Pioneers. There's a pass picked off by Leach of the Pioneers. Ahead it comes to Hill. Hill, nice move, and it'll get fouled by Roy coming by, missing the shot. Hill going to the line again, where he's been 8 times, 8 shots this afternoon.
Kudos to the Pioneers, even though down big with 3 minutes left to go. They're still playing. They're still fighting. Yeah. Still at 100% speed and effort that we've seen from pretty much since tip-off.
Yep. That's a tribute to Coach Gallion, too. I mean, he, of course, is the son of his dad, Texas legend Doug, coached for 35 years out at Eastland, and also coached with Chris Beard at Angelo State. He said that at the beginning of the season, he said they spent 70 to 80% of their practice time on defense.
Well, you can see in the first couple of minutes of that game against a very speedy, quick Langston team that isn't afraid to get downhill. You can see that from them as they force a turnover.
Here's their bats at the hill as the Pioneers steal it away. Nice move down low by Coleman, but better move on defense by the Lions.
Looking at Coach Wright, still barking orders from this sideline. Even though he's up big, he's not letting the Lions loose at all.
Knocked out by the Lions that bring it in to the Pioneers to Belfield. He lost it momentarily. Now he dribbles to the baseline. Nice moves on Alan Tovar. Misses the shot, misses the follow-up, and he gets fouled on the 3rd attempted follow-up to Belfield.
Belfield putting it on the deck, just getting in the short corner, got the ball tipped out, had to reset to the far side corner, moves over his help on offense. I believe that was Hill, and said, just let me go to work. Missed the first one, corralled the offensive rebound, and now hanging the line. Cornbread fed, as we called him earlier in this game.
Needs another ear of that corn because he misses the first free throw. A little tad short. He's had a great corn, black bean, green pepper salad. Speaking of corn, for dinner last night.
Was it like Texas caviar? I've seen that recipe before.
Is that what they call it?
I believe so.
Good. You know, I don't eat red meat, so it's very enjoyable. We did have salmon last night. There's a reverse backhanded two-hand hammer by J. Allen Tovar.
There it is. We were waiting on it pretty much all game long. We know Tovar ain't afraid to rise up. 2 hands for safety for the throwdown. Exhibit A there to expand the lead.
Wham with both hands. There's nothing but net. A perfect swisher, so perfect that the net didn't even come back down. That got stuck up there on the rim. Nice shot by Coleman. So 2 minutes to play. Lions 80-64. They led at the half 44-24. Belfield down low. Not on defense, but the Lions scored that time against Belfield and the Pioneers. There's a fall away with the net still stuck up. Isn't somebody supposed to stick something up there and get the net down? There, they just jumped up. Roy said, I'm the SAC player of the year. I got to do that too as part of my duties.
Tovar tried to save it for his effort. Ended up getting the ball smacked on the top of his head out of bounds. However, looks like it was a loose ball foul that ended up getting called on Mitchell, I believe. Or was that called on Mose? I believe that was on Mitchell. So heading the line will be Coleman again.
Coleman swishers it through, and then comes Paul Turner out of Chicago, Illinois. He played early, real early. He was one of the first subs that played briefly. And in fact, I'll tell you how long he played. 1 minute. The Lions with it, ticking down to 90 seconds to play in this thing. They're up 82-66. Up their season record at 29-1, win their 10th in a row, 22 out of 23.
Ball got tipped out of Mosley's hand. If he had the first power dribble, thought he was going to get downhill and try to make a move, but turnover instead.
Coleman goes the length of the floor, draws the foul. 80 seconds to go. Foul on Mitchell.
That foul was on Mitchell. We can confirm that. Coleman transferred from another team, his hometown team, Our Lady of Lake University. Also played at Southern Nazarene and also Temple College before ending up here at Wayland.
So Coleman, 3 out of 3 from the line, making it 3 out of 4 as Allen front lips. And the Lions with the big lead, which they've had since half. They're up by 20, all but the first, 4 or 5 minutes of the game.
Pretty much been all Langston for 90% of this contest.
As we just went below a minute now. No hurry for the Langston Lions to do something with this. It's 5 to shoot, a hop, skip, and jump, low block back. Board miss by Mosley, and a fresh 20. And they can just chew it down. About a 20.9 second shot clock, game clock difference. I should say 30. And driving the lane and scoring. Another basket for the Lions as they go up 84-67. Here's Hill doing some fancy moves and goes off Hill. Tajay couldn't control, and Lions will bring it in. No shot clock, so I'm sure they'll just dribble around and wait for the final 24 seconds. We'll get caught up with, Roy at 16 points. You want to talk to Roy or Brown?
Let's go with Brown. I feel
like
let's
go with Brown too.
We knew that Roy player of the year, was going to have a fantastic game.
Yeah, and I got some.
But DeMonte Brown up the bench, fantastic showing from him.
Exactly. Yeah, he's a third team, all SAC third team. So 3-2-1, there it goes. Chris Wright shaking hands with Clint Gallion. Final score, Lions 84-67 as Langston University goes to their locker room victorious with their 10th win in a row. They won 22 out of 23. And they will face the winner of our next game, John Brown or Matt Hughes. Let's grab a break, and we'll be back with our player of the game. It'll be DeMonte Brown of the Lions. Coming up on ASN2 and ASN Radio.
Everything. At Pelche Key and Tyler, we're tough, never quit.
Welcome back to the Sid. I'm the St. Jimmy Christopher next to Jared Jones, the Moose. A final from our first round game between the number 1 seed Langston Lions, number 2 in the country, beating the Wayland Baptist University Pioneers 84-67. And joining us, our player of the game, 6'4" guard from Petersburg, Virginia, DeMonte Brown. Welcome to the postgame.
Glad to be here, man.
How you doing?
Glad to be here.
Hey, with this star-studded lineup, and you see all this red that I have written down
Yes,
here
sir,
with everybody,
man.
Coach of the Year, Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year. We wanted to get you, DeMonte, because I don't get your total minutes tonight, but coming off the chairs, you had a final of 16 points, 3 rebounds, and just, scrapping. And how does this feel to be going to another championship game?
Oh, man, it's a blessing here, man. This is my second year playing with Langston University, and when my name is called, I'm just ready to play, man. I'm 6 man, and I'm just ready to go, man. Coach told me all the time, man, you the missing piece on this team, so bring energy and bring effort. That's all I can hear to do.
And you're all SAC third team. How does it feel playing with this star-studded lineup? You got Anthony Roy, and you can go down the line, Toru Dean, and you got J. Allen Tovar and Cortez Mosley, and then coaching Chris Wright. But how does it feel with playing with a team that is this deep on both sides of the ball?
Man, it's a blessing here, man. At practice, man, those 6 guys, man, bring it every day, man. So I'm just here to compete with them guys, but, like, them guys just tough, man. At practice, man, we hard-nosed, we guard, play defense. We going to score offense. Like, it is a blessing, man. Like, them guys are always good, you know. They tough guys, for sure.
How is it playing for Coach of the Year, SAC Coach of the Year, Chris Wright? And what have you learned from him as both a man and as a player?
Man, that guy's tough, man. It's like, it's something about him, man. He going to say what you don't want to hear. He's going to cuss you out. He's going to get on you. But he's not satisfied. But that's how he's so good, man. Like, because he pushes so hard. So,
second game coming up here, John Brown or Mac U. Any preference, or you just want to get on the floor tomorrow night and beat whoever you have to play?
I'm not gonna lie, man. John Brown, they move the ball around a lot. They remind me of the Spurs, so I think I got John Brown winning this game for sure.
Okay, good. We'll hold you to it.
Yes, sir.
And we'll see you tomorrow night.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. DeMonte.
Yes, sir.
There he goes, DeMonte Brown, our player of the game. He wants to play JBU tomorrow night, and we'll know that winner here in a little bit. Let's wrap it up and get out of here. Adios. Take care. Thanks, DeMonte. You're welcome. Thank you. For Jared Moose Jones, we're going to take a break and get out. We're signing off here. They'll have the next game coming up here. It'll be Will Donnelly and Brendan Snow with Jared Jones of Antler Sports Network producing for everybody here at Texas Wesleyan. Thanks very much. I'll see you for the women's game, the first women's game tonight at 6. Final, our first game final, is 84-67. Langston winning their 10th in a row. They down Wayland Baptist University. Adios. Talk to you in a bit.